In this section of the course, we'll be discussing business owners' policies, commonly referred to as BOPs. These are package policies and provide the vast majority of what is commonly needed by small business owners. These policies generally aren't the ones to think of when considering large businesses, manufacturing plants, or large production facilities. Instead, they're packages designed to cover the needs of smaller companies. In fact, you'll find that the size and square footage a business occupies are two of the limiting factors in determining eligibility for a business owner's policy. We'll begin with an overview of the characteristics and purpose of a business owner's policy, and then move into some of the eligible risks and their specific coverages. Not all businesses fit into an acceptable category or risk classification. For example, motels qualify for business owners coverage, but they are limited to 3 stories in height. We'll discuss the property insurance coverage section in these policies, known as Section 1 of the policy. The lesson explores coverage for all potential exposures that an insured may face, and includes information on building protection, business personal property coverage, and coverage for the named insured if there's a loss to property in their care, custody, or control. A business owner's policy can provide bailee coverage for businesses entrusted with a customer's property. We'll also cover how business owners' policies have standard dollar deductibles, as well as deductibles that are attached to other coverages within a policy. Limits of insurance will come up, as well as how they come into play depending on the type of coverage involved. For example, the coverage on glass breakage is limited by the base contract. It's important you study this material carefully and understand the policy limits that might apply in the event of a loss. Like most insurance policies, if higher limits are needed for a particular exposure, policy limits can be increased for additional premium in most cases. Loss conditions are also an important part of the business owner's policies. While it doesn't occur often, the failure of the named insured to meet the conditions laid out in the contract could jeopardize recovery in the event of a loss. Pay close attention to the conditions that are explained throughout this lesson. Your clients will need to know certain requirements. These might be conditions like the mandate to preserve property from further damage, or to inform the insurer in the event of a loss, as well as others. BOPs have certain conditions unique to smaller businesses, and this could easily affect an insured if not adhered to. We'll also take note of how losses are evaluated in terms of compensation and payment to the insured. Then we'll see what happens if property is recovered after a loss, and the options that are available to the insurer and insured, as well as how vacancy of a property can adversely affect coverage. Finally, we'll discuss 4 general conditions attached to business owner policies, and more definitions that will clarify some of the material. Along with that, you'll see what a specified cause of loss form is and how it alters this coverage. These forms provide a different set of coverage than the standard BOP and contain a specific set of covered perils. Let's get started.